Have you ever come home after a stressful day, the weight of your responsibilities, a palpable burden, desperately seeking an escape? You pick up a controller, booting up a world that promises adventure and solace, but after 10 minutes, a disquieting feeling emerges. For some inexplicable reason, you're not having fun. The very activity you depended on to relieve stress now feels boring, tedious, or worse, just like another job. This experience is becoming increasingly common. You've invested in the console and the library of games, so a sense of obligation compels you to play, even as the joy evaporates. But fun was the very reason you started playing in the first place, wasn't it? How did you arrive in this strange purgatory, playing more out of duty than delight? Have video games fundamentally changed? Or have you? To unravel this, we must first ask a more fundamental question. What, precisely, is fun? It's a concept we take for granted, yet its philosophical and psychological roots are deep and complex. The Dutch historian Johan Huizinga, in his seminal work, Homo Ludens, Man, the Player, proposed that play is a primary function of human culture. He defined it as a voluntary activity executed within fixed limits of time and place, according to rules freely accepted but absolutely binding, having its aim in itself and accompanied by a feeling of tension, joy, and the consciousness that it is different from ordinary life. This different space is what he termed the magic circle. Within it, the rules of the outside world are suspended, and the rules of the game reign supreme. When we say a game is fun, we are often describing the successful creation of this magic circle, a state of immersive flow where our actions have clear, immediate meaning. This fun can manifest in various ways, as described by frameworks like the Bartle taxonomy of player types, which categorizes players into achievers who seek to master the game, explorers who delight in discovery, socializers who prioritize interaction with others, and killers who thrive on competition and causing chaos. What one player finds exhilarating, another might find tedious. Fun is not a monolith. It's a dynamic interplay of challenge, discovery, social connection, and fantasy. For many, the appeal of video games lies in the stark contrast they offer to the modern world, particularly the world of work. In the real world, as philosopher Karl Marx argued, labor can become alienated. The connection between your effort and a meaningful outcome is often severed. You perform tasks, but the rewards are distant, abstract, or disproportionately distributed. The corporate ladder can feel arbitrary, governed by a secret language of office politics rather than pure merit. Games, in their ideal form, are the antithesis of this. They present a perfect meritocracy. Effort is directly and transparently rewarded. You grind, you level up, you master a skill, you defeat the boss. The rules are clear, and the system is, in its own way, just. It's a fantasy version of life that is clearer, fairer, and more reliably rewarding. However, both the player and the game have undergone significant transformations that threaten this fundamental contract. As we age, our capacity to enter the magic circle can diminish. The average age of a video game player is now in the mid-30s, an age typically associated with significant real-life responsibilities. Mortgages, careers, and family concerns can make the half-real worlds of GTA or Zelda feel trivial by comparison. The mental space required for deep immersion is crowded out by a constant stream of notifications and anxieties. Our attention spans, fragmented by the ceaseless demands of social media, struggle to accommodate the slow burn of a 60-hour RPG. This can lead to a state of anhedonia, the inability to derive pleasure from activities once enjoyed, where gaming becomes another item on a to-do list rather than a joyful escape. More profoundly, the nature of the games themselves has shifted. The rise of the live service model, in particular, represents a systematic dismantling of the magic circle. These games, often free-to-play, have imported the logic of social media and casino design, prioritizing not fun, but engagement. Their goal is to keep you playing and, crucially, paying. The industry's revenue figures are staggering. The global games market generated nearly $200 billion in recent years, with a huge portion coming from in-game spending. This is achieved through sophisticated psychological manipulation. The Battle Pass system, popularized by Fortnite, turns play into a job. You pay a subscription fee, creating a sunk cost that obligates you to log in regularly to get your money's worth. Limited-time events exploit our innate fear of missing out, FOMO, scheduling our leisure time for us. This is the opposite of Huizinga's voluntary play. It is coerced engagement. Furthermore, these games are built on reward schedules refined by behavioral psychologists like B.F. Skinner. Instead of the satisfying, predictable rewards of traditional games, live service titles rely on variable ratio reinforcement, the same principle that makes slot machines addictive. This is most apparent in the controversial loot box mechanic, where players pay real money for a chance at receiving a desirable in-game item. This is so psychologically potent that several countries, including Belgium and the Netherlands, have classified loot boxes as a form of gambling and made them illegal. The dopamine rush is no longer tied to mastery or achievement, but to a roll of the dice. Your brain becomes habituated to these constant, low-effort dopamine hits, and the more subtle, earned pleasures of traditional gaming begin to feel dull. Over time, this can lead to dopamine deficiency, making it difficult to find pleasure in anything. Even the blockbuster, AAA single-player games are not immune to these trends. As development budgets have ballooned, sometimes exceeding $300 million, publishers have become incredibly risk-averse. This has led to a landscape of homogenized sequels and open-world games built around checklists, designed to provide hundreds of hours of content, but often lacking in genuine novelty or soul. A 2021 survey showed that nearly 80% of developers see the pressure from publishers to use monetization trends as a significant issue in the industry. The focus shifts from crafting a memorable experience to maximizing playtime metrics. So is there a way back to fun? Perhaps. I still find immense joy in video games, but it requires a conscious and deliberate curation of my playtime. I reject the games that feel like an obligation. I have abandoned the online ranking systems and the daily login bonuses that induce anxiety rather than excitement. The solution lies in diversification and intention. I explore the vibrant indie scene, where smaller developers are free to take creative risks. I play games that respect my time, offering concise, powerful narrative experiences instead of endless content. I return to the timeless designs of companies like Nintendo, who have largely resisted the most predatory monetization schemes. If you want to keep having fun, you must step back. Take a break. Allow your brain's reward pathways to recalibrate. Explore different genres and rediscover what fun means to you. It might be the strategic depth of a turn-based RPG, the quiet satisfaction of a building sim, or the emotional punch of a narrative adventure. In the end, it comes down to a quote often found in what some might call flaky spiritual memes, but which holds a core truth. If you love something, set it free. This applies perfectly to video games. You must set them free from the obligation, from the metrics, from the feeling that you have to play. Take a step back. If the joy comes back to you, it is yours to keep. If it doesn't, perhaps it's time to find a new magic circle. For now.